Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the SQ1 Champions League. This is week 10, day 2. We're on the run to playoffs and we're watching Royal Reapers. Can they come back from their catastrophic collapse last game as they're taking on Fuzzy Esports, who are looking to solidify themselves as a top team? I am Viperoon, I'm joined by Byron Villa, and I'm excited to get into this one.
Yeah, but this time they're against a tougher opposition. They're against Fuzzy Esports, and Fuzzy Esports, they're sitting tied third in the standings, a little bit different than the US Anonymous, who are sitting kind of mid-table. It's going to take a little bit more from Royal Reapers this game to try and take them down, but last game, they were so close yet so far. If they're able to capture that early game that they had last game and provide a little bit more stronger mid-game decision-making, they could very easily take this match. It's not out the window whatsoever.
Capitulation is the way I described last match, but luckily for us, that's not going to play into this game too much, hopefully. As we do jump straight into picks and bans, it is going to be Royal Reapers on the red side, with Fuzzy Esports on the... Sports on the blue side. Fuzzy Esports on the blue side. We've got Nico and Vladimir being taken away, Silas as well. These are pretty standard bans.
Yeah, what I like about these is they're banning away flex picks. The Vladimir can go mid-top, same with the Nico, who can go ADC. The Silas can go jungle mid-top. They're getting rid of a lot of these picks that are hard to kind of predict where they're going in the early game. So what they want to do is, as this draft develops, find specific picks that they're able to find and then counter pick and try and figure out what the enemy team wants to do. When they're banning away these flex picks that really don't tell you much about what the team wants to do, it means Royal Reapers and Fuzzy Esports both want to find the weaknesses in each other's composition before they have to reveal theirs.
More standard bans coming across. SQ1 and Corki have both been around. Corki especially has been prevalent in the mid lane at the moment. Corki and Azir being the standard mid lane matchup that we get in competitive League of Legends nowadays. Aatrox could be the last ban away. Interesting that Royal Reapers choose to ban that away. I guess they don't want it first picked. Karma going to be taken away. That's flexible. Top, mid or support.
I love this Karma pick. It is, once again, we're talking about how the strong flex picks are, how they allow you to not necessarily reveal your hand in the draft until way later on. Karma is especially one of those picks that can go top, mid, support, and even sometimes in the bot lane, as we've seen players like Reckless do. So, no idea where this Karma is going right now. And it means that Royal Reapers kind of have to pick blind when it comes to these next two picks. However, if there are some good blind picks to pick, Azaya Rakan may be pretty good. We'll see if they want to look into Rakan. I don't jump to conclusions. Azaya is a very, very solid, I think is the word, ADC, being able to wave clear very well, peel for themselves. That decent bit that you kind of want isn't going to have many tough matchups in that AD carry position. But the Akali instead will be locked in for Royal Reapers. Another one of those fancy flex picks.
They might be digging for information here, to be honest, because not looking in the Rakan is kind of saying, okay, Fuzzy Esports, is that Karma a support? It's like Guess Who, because if the Karma isn't support, you might want to, oh, well, there's the Yuumi. Never mind, my point's irrelevant, don't worry about it. Yuumi is a very, very strong pickup in the current meta. That does mean that Karma is probably going more towards that top side or the mid, but probably the top. And if they lock in Sivir, we're in for one of those. Oh, hey, bot lane is not something that's worth watching because Sivir won't die, and so it'll be interesting to see if a meta here locks in the Rakan to go across with the Xayah, or if they're happy to just give that one away.
Okay, so you were talking about playing Guess Who. It looks like Fuzzy Esports have pulled out Monopoly instead, because they want a thinking man's game. Unfortunately, that means not too much excitement in terms of the picks right now. However, Sivir Yuumi will take over that bot lane. That's practically guaranteed with how that lane works, and the Karma will hold down one of the solo lanes as a fort. But on the other side, the Alistair, big playmaker being locked in there. Royal Reapers, they don't want to be on this passive, boring Monopoly. They want to play Operation or Frustration. Some exciting board games here. Come on.
Are we going to get a Surge and Alistair skin? Because if there's one champion I don't want performing surgery on me, it's probably Alistair.
I mean, my biggest worry is Blitzcrank. I don't want one of my organs just being yoinked out by a Blitzkrieg, you know what I mean?
Like, where's my spleen? We are into second round of picks and bans, with Renekton and Cho'Gath being taken away, top lane being squeezed out. That does suggest that Renekton's a bit weird because he is a flex pick, but he's a more traditional top laner. We're going to have to see if they're going to keep banning away these flex picks or if they go for something else, because right now, Both solo lanes are available for Fuzzy Esports, with Raw Reaper, well, both solo lanes, a solo lane and jungle being available. With Rexar being taken away, it shows that Royal Reapers are paying slightly more attention than I am, with G4 also going off the table.
Yeah, and what I like as well, this Cho'Gath ban in particular, likely means this Karma is going to be going topside, because Cho'Gath is actually a really tough matchup for Karma. If I remember correctly, and I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty sure he's very anti-mage, it's hard to deal with, he's just going to be able to scale it very nicely in that Karma matchup, and you don't want that to happen. So, with that being took away, that leads me to believe this is going to be a Karma top lane. The Gragas being locked in still kind of a flex, but you've seen that in top lane beforehand, however, it's very likely to go into the jungle role. And there's a lot of playmaking on the side of Royal Reapers. They have a lot of ways to combo a lot of CC together with the Alistar, with the Gragas. Zaya's Feathers can also help with that. The issue is trying to catch out a member of Fuzzy Esports composition when it's Sivir, Yumi, Karma. That's going to be very hard to catch out for yourself. And yeah, the Nazir too, yeah, it's going to be so difficult to engage into that composition.
It's going to be almost impossible. In order to break down this composition, you have to get through On the Hunt, the Azir Wall, the final chapter. Karma can throw a shield and speed up onto everyone if she chooses to use that Mantra E, and I don't know how Raw Reapers look to engage. You've got the Alistar and the Gragas, but how are you engaging through an Azir Wall? Or how are you engaging onto a team that's already pegged it directly away from you? Trundle locked in to roll out this comp, and honestly, that's a bit of a weird pick in what it looks like Fuzzy Esports trying to do.
I like it in particular into the Alistar because theoretically, if the fight's happening, right, and you've got the Karma, Sivir, Yumi is there, with you don't really have much of a front line there, and then the Alistar tries to go for some big engage. Not only do you have all the pure tools, then after Alistar uses the ultimate, just yoink those stats away with a subjugate. All of a sudden, Trundle's running into your backline, and he's incredibly tanky, and you do not want that. However, Kiana, now that's an exciting pick by Almena. The issue is he going to be able to execute it versus the likes of an Azir?
I imagine that Kiana will have quite a rough early game into the Azir, who's going to look to poke down, going to look to keep her out of lane with some support from the Trundle as well. But what Raw Reapers are looking like they want to do is it's kind of a case of, okay, you guys are very good disengage, but that's not going to matter if your Sivir and Azir are both dead.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm a fan of that idea. I feel like the best way you try and destroy a protection composition is you don't want to fight them. You want to pick people off, play that kind of composition where you get people out of the fight before the fight even starts, or you play a split push style where you take control of the sideline, split up this composition that wants to protect one or two members. That's how you ideally want to break them down. I think that is possible. I mean, with the Akali and the Kiana going to get incredibly strong, they can happily stand the sideline. The Zaya has to teleport themselves. So it is going to be completely impossible to try and execute that split push style. But I feel like with what they've chosen, it's more about trying to pick people off, punish mistakes from the likes of Kyle Turtle and Z if they do try and go a little bit aggressive in the river and don't necessarily have the support behind them. It's just theoretically, if this game plays out perfectly and everyone has perfect mechanical skill, then it should be for the Esports to do take away the game thanks to their adventures in composition, but there certainly are counterplay options for Royal Reapers.
Amena's gone for his classic calling card of going Ignite rather than Teleport, which you'd hope would give him the advantage in this lane, because we saw last time Royal Reapers played, if Amena doesn't have Teleport, he cannot be split pushing late game, because he will just be out of the fight, he wouldn't be important, and Amena being such a centerpiece player for Raw Reapers needs to be involved in these late game plays. So unless Raw Reapers are super ahead, they're not going to be able to have Amena on the side lane. Interesting fact as well is Raw Reapers have got Francesco back in that bot lane. We are going to say goodbye to one last Uwu, who we saw last game, and Francesco, I've had some questions about this guy. I think he's quite a good support, but he hasn't always looked the strongest. I want to see how he plays alongside Imbi, who, again, has been playing quite a few positions for this team.
What intrigues me is the fact that they still opted for the Alistar when they still could have got that Rakan themselves. I mean, maybe Francesco has a little bit more comfort on Alistar, which would make a lot of sense. But denying yourself a Zaya Rakan 2v2 is surprising to me. I guess the Rakan can't really make many engages happen, but you could argue the same for Alistar, so bit of an odd one there to kind of talk about, but in terms of matchups, I mean, you can talk about a lot here. Civi Yumi, I do feel like has the advantage in the bot lane. The poke and push power that lane has is just, I don't think it's going to be able to be handled by Imbi and Francesco, at least in that laning phase. Mid lane, I think, will be quite close. I feel like Omega could get 1 or 2 solo kills. However, of course, Xeon the Azir will have the advantage later the game goes on. But top lane is where I want to draw our eyes to, because I do feel like Akali can get a lot going in this matchup thanks to her mobility.
And her ability to just jump onto Karma, because Karma, such a lane bully, able to poke, able to do so much damage, and can be pretty safe in those earlier levels. If you try and engage, she's like, nah, I'm going to press E and I'm going to run away. I might even tether you if I'm feeling fancy. Akali can avoid those problems, can take the fight to her, and if Karma is fought in hand-to-hand and she can't disengage, she falls down very, very quickly. So that's going to be quite a key matchup, I think, in this game, because if Awaken can get fed and get going on the Akali, he's going to be able to provide so much for the rest of his team in assassinating, because, of course, in the composition that Fuzzy Esports have built, it's such a strong composition, but it starts to fall apart if you're fighting a 4v5 because Civi was just assassinated by Akali.
Yeah, exactly. It does. And that Akali, one little thing I want to point out in that matchup before we head into the game right now is the backflip is so useful. Because if they go with the Karma, and that's you do want to get that cheeky tether off and try and lock it down, but that's not going to happen, because what Akali will do is use a backflip away from that, get out of the tether range, then jump right back onto you. All of a sudden, that W does absolutely nothing from the Karma. So there are a few little outplay potentials for Awaken to take advantage of if he so chooses. He also does have a very nice skin. I like that scenario, Carly, to be perfectly honest. But, we are in game now, loading in, which makes me very, very excited. In terms of mastery points, nothing really jumping out to me. Carly's played a decent amount of Civ, but that is about it. Also, wait, hold on. That's Electrocute here.
Huh, that's a bit interesting.
Wow.
That's aggressive.
It certainly is. I mean, compared to the lethal temple that you usually go, I feel like Z is looking for some burst potential here. Maybe even looking to punish Omena when he tries to dive in with a little bit of a Shurima shuffle, get the ultimate under a tower, get the electrocute proc. All of a sudden, Omena's bursted down before he can get that damage off. That could be what he's looking for. It could be an accident as well. That's probably what I'm leaning towards, if I'm to be perfectly honest. But we'll see what he's able to achieve with this room, because it isn't typically something that you expect. As we are in game now, Royal Reapers versus Fuzzy Esports, or Esports as you kind of said at the start.
Esports is the correct pronunciation.
Who will be taking this game?
It's going to be interesting. In last game, Royal Reapers very much won draft and then they lost the game. I think it's fair to say that Fuzzy Esports have the nicer of the two drafts. Whether Royal Reapers could snowball, as they have done several times this split, if they can do that, the question is, A, can they snowball? And B, can they close out if they snowball? Because we've seen so many variations upon that. I'm going to be fascinated by how this game is going to go. I think Royal Reapers are very much the underdogs here, especially off the back of the loss they just had against EUS. And Fuzzy Esports, they're going to have to keep the pressure on, because they're trying to push forward to get a very nice seed into playoffs. Royal Reapers are fighting to stay in playoff contention.
Absolutely they are. And Royal Reapers, I mean, we talked about this last cast, so I'll touch on it again. These guys were what, runners-up last split, I believe?
I think they came third in the end.
Third? Same thing. But they're coming in now, and there was high expectations for them in this split. But they just haven't shown the level that people were expecting, and it's due to a lot of inconsistency. They've shown some great plays themselves, but at the same time, they have also started to make some plays that I'm not really huge fans of, and have shown a lot of indecisiveness that you wouldn't typically expect from a top team, and that's why Royal Reapers aren't a top team right now. They're sitting mid-table, and there will be a lot of those lingering questions, especially now that they lost their most recent game. Can they really take it to the top teams? And this is a big test for them now. I mean, they did lose, unfortunately, against EOS Anonymous. What can they do against Fuzzy Esports, who should be a higher level team?
That's the question that needs to be answered. And we're moving into laning phase with Fuzzy Esports. You would think having the advantage across the board, really, in terms of laning. The Kiana Azir matchup or the Akali Karma matchup. If Royal Reapers are proactive, they could look to get a lead there. But I think in the bot lane especially, you're looking at this Sivir Yuumi and thinking, you're not meant to lose this matchup against the Zarya Alistar, because there's not really a way for them to engage on you with the Alistar, and you can just sustain them out of lane.
Yeah, exactly. And you see it right now. The level lead is there. The pushing power is there. I mean, look at the CS lead. I mean, Zarya has 3 CS and Kat has 11. That's a huge CS discrepancy for this point in the game. And so, you know, it looks good, but ooh, play mid lane.
Aggressive, doing a lot of damage onto Z, looking to try and get rid of some of those summoners. You can see Cracker Wonderboy on the Greg as his first response onto the scene. But that's what you can do with this Kiana. If you jump in and get in his face, you could be forcing him low, forcing those resources out of him, and then looking to get the kills. Because right now, he had to flash away because Ignite was popped, but Amena, using both summoners, is now a pretty easy gank as well.
Yeah, certainly is. We'll see what they're able to do. But Hopper and that Caracal Wonderboy both meeting each other in the jungle here. However, Hopper has to be careful because they don't know where Amena is. Could be making their own. Obviously isn't because they're backing, but keep that in mind.
Francesco going so low. So much of pressure from Calvert Turtle and Purple Cookie in that bot lane. The Sivir Yuumi, it's just so disgusting. It just, Riot, please. Riot. Just stop it. I don't know how to stop it.
As a Sivir player, definitely all Yumi's fault via this lane is very disgusting. But overall, it's just Sivir as this kind of champion that can benefit a lot from having people tools around her alongside her spell shield, you know, giving her a little bit of extra poke with the Yuumi alongside the heals and speed ups means so much more to this champion than, say, a typical AD carry, because not only do you get all this wave clear and the poke that you already have, but on top of that you get movement speed and healing and the spell shield that you already have. It's pretty much impossible to hurt Kelly in this lane.
And that's the big gank comes in. Speaking of ganks, here's one mid. Z doesn't have flash, remember, but Caracal Wonderboy not going to be able to get the engage off that he needs. Imbi again taking poke in his bot lane, and Imbi and Francesco are getting bullied super hard down here. They're under their tower. Farm isn't going the way of Imbi particularly, and they're being kept low.
Yeah, they are indeed, and they're just not being at anything. And look at, I've already one tower playing, I believe, has gone down in this bottom lane to the Sivir Yuumi. So not only are they gaining a massive CS through, they're going to be getting those platings alongside that, and that's only going to help them really in the long run, as this top lane matchup seems to be going well for the Karma so far.
Getting the push in as well, but the difference you see here is that Awaken is able to farm quite well under tower, and there's not too much pressure on him. He is taking a little bit of poke, which you would expect in this matchup, but as soon as Awaken hits 6 and can get that perfect execution, I'm going to see that lane flip on its head, because right now, Akali, Awaken, even shading a little bit on the CS front, is going to be looking pretty solid come that level 6, compared to the bot lane where Imbi and Francesco's been forced back, and Imbi, half health, really struggling to pick up the dregs of money.
Yeah, it certainly is. And Imbi, on this scale in the AD carry as Desire, when you fall this far down in farm early, it means that that kind of 2-3 item point that you expect to start really dishing out the damage, it's not going to come very fast to you. And that's really going to be an issue for the side of Real Reapers, because really their composition in the early game is expecting to shine there, and if they're not able to have a mid-game spike, that's going to be a worry.
And they were looking for a bit of aggression there with Francesco going in, but wasn't able to gain too much off it. No resources really burned, and it's going to be a struggle for Royal Reapers to do anything in this bot lane without jungle intervention. Even then, it's unlikely. It looks like they're just going to hope that Imbi and Francesco can stay alive down here and can try and pick up, because, as you say, Zarya, if she hits those 2 or 3 items, she can put in so much damage and be pretty safe as a marksman. So it's just all about getting there, and right now she's going to get there pretty slowly. Kiana's looking to engage on to Z. The flash engage there from Cracker Wonderboy. First blood picked up by Kiana in the mid lane, and that's the opening that Royal Reapers desperately needed in this game.
Yeah, that's exactly what they want to see. Not only does Z get caught out there, unable to use the ultimate, but gets the first blood gold onto Omena on this Kiana. It's a huge snowball pick, and you're already, you've put it down the hill now. It's starting to build up. Got the kill. The big thing I want to see now from Omena is, what does he do with this lead? Does he want to sit in lane and make Z's life hell? Does he want to roam about and alleviate some of the pressure from Imbi and Francesco or punish Bumblebee for overextending. There are some options now that Omena has. We'll see what he wants to do.
And that is going to set the tone of the game. Is Omena going to look to win that lane, or is he going to look to help out his friends? Because right now, Imi and Francesco having a pretty torrid time. Akali's come online at 6 and is now bullying the Karma, getting more farm, getting more gold, looking pretty strong. Neither jungler has been too impactful. Cracker1, but obviously with the big gag on that first blood. We haven't seen Hooper yet, or Hopper yet, so Francesco taking low, needs to be a bit careful. Caloturtle looking to chase, as Francesco's going to have to be defensive and getting out of that one. Bot lane for Raw Reaper's still looking pretty scary. Imi might be out of position here, going to be taking a decent amount of damage, does have that flash available, forced away.
Yeah, one big thing I want to point out here, oh, never mind, there's possibly a fight breaking out, I'm not too sure. Maybe?
Mena might be caught here, looking to get onto Caloturtle, but 4 members of Fuzzy Esports have arrived. Mena going to be going low, the flash coming in from the Trundle, teleport in behind though. That's going to be Awaken, and Mena going low, should be able to get out of that one, will be able to without any dot coming in, but the teleport's going to be returned now. Awaken, who's going to pick up, he's going to try and get onto Z, but the final chapter will be used to root up 2 members, and Imbi will be taken low, as we do see Awaken fall. Imbi's going to flash away, but will be chased down. Double kill coming in for Heights, Bumblebee, as Z, less than 100 health, Purple Cookies jumps away, Cracker1 on the back, clearing a ward, doesn't want to get involved, but that was a 5-on-5, and Fuzzy Esports come out the victor.
They do, both kills going over to Bumblebee himself, but getting that Xayah dead, pushing in that bot lane is going to extend that advantage ever further. And one thing I do want to point out is you talked about Hopper. We hadn't seen him all game before that play. Look at the CS differential in this jungle. That is huge. That is a 63 CS Hopper to a 39 CS Carco Wonderboy. That is fantastic to see. And all that, funnily enough, now they have the same amount of kills participated in. So overall, Wonderboy hasn't really been able to put down the same amount of pressure. And what that has meant is that Hopper is coming out of this jungle in the early game with a massive advantage.
And that's going to be so crucial on this Trundle pick, but he might have been caught out there, but he's just going to be headbutted into Dragon Pit. Cracker1 is going to get some damage down as the Ignite will tick on. But look at the Yuumi, he's involved now, as it looks like he's going to fall. Trundle will be going low, will be going down. Cracker1 asserting his dominance in the jungle position, but now Mena needs to be a little bit careful. Will be tagged up by quite a few abilities as Awaken, looking to escape from the Karma. Looks to go back in, jumping around, but is going pretty low. I don't see a kill coming up in that top lane, but look at Dragon. There's such a contest over this one. It's only a Mountain Drake, but both teams really want it.
Yeah, they do. We'll see who can get it. Bear in mind, Hopper nowhere near this Dragon, so no Smite Steel ready available.
Francesco's going so low, has to make his excuses and leave. And Imbi now half health, looking for the blast, going to get himself out, will be able to. The Dragon reset, so no one's grabbed it right now, but Fuzzy Esports do have dominance in that area. Awaken putting a lot of damage onto Hyatt's Bombi in the top lane, but Imbi now needs to be careful. He can't be sticking around too much with that Civic Yuumi pushing in towards his tower.
Yeah, and now that lane being pushed in again by Caloturtle, showing once again that dominance, but also now, because of all this bot lane priority that they've had, it means that now they're going to be ones who can rotate towards this Dragon and get it for themselves. And this is the difference between a top team and a middle tier team. I'll say it now, it's this decisiveness. We saw Royal Reapers, they could have turned on that Dragon, they didn't. They were hanging around it for too long, got poked off of it. This time, you see Fuzzy Esports' turn, they're straight on it, they're getting it secured, they've got the priority that they need to do, they've said it a while. And that's the difference. It's the objective play that you're seeing with Fuzzy Esports. They are playing it very, very well so far. 1k gold, the Mountain Drake killed their name. They're doing well.
They're looking at the better of the two teams right now, but Royal Reapers do have ways back into this game. We've already said that Xayah is a route back in. Amena on the Kiara has got a little bit of an advantage over the Azir. And in the top lane, Awaken is looking stronger than Heights of Bumpy. So there are ways for Royal Reapers to be back into this one, but they need to be careful because the decisiveness was a problem last game when they were very, very far ahead. It's what inevitably lost them the game. And now that they're behind, they need to be even more careful about making proactive plays, or they could just lose out again.
Yeah, exactly, they could. And I love watching this play. Instead of me just absolutely destroying right now. But look at the jungle here.
He in trouble. He's going to be stunned up, taken down. That man just got annihilated. Another kill for Kiana. And this is where Royal Reapers shine in that mid lane. And Men is such a great player And he's now got 2 kills for himself.
Yeah, he's doing very, very well. However, we'll see if this kind of play can continue.
In the bot lane, though. Imbi's melted away by Calaturtle as Hopper will be traded 1-for-1 across the board, with Amena picking up his third of the game. And Francesco is quite a beefy cow, no pun intended, and should be able to get out unless they look for the dive. They might try to do so with the healing they have. Francesco turns around just for the pulverize, dodges out on the skill shot from the Yuumi, who also survives on basically no health. It will remain a 1-for-1 across the map, but they are going to be able to get push on this bot tower. Fuzzy Esports will be pretty happy with that.
They will be happy with that, and I mean, that's what you want to see. This Omena now 3-0, very, very strong champion. However, the bot lane priority continues to be incredibly strong, and the worry here is that whilst Omena's getting really, really far ahead, he's been focusing more on getting himself ahead, more than helping out this team. And this can work to his benefit. I feel like in the mid game, around about the 20-minute mark, Omena is going to be a massive threat for, I mean, as we've seen already for Zeb, already for Kylie the Turtle too. The issue is as the longer the game goes on, the harder it's going to be for Omena to kind of consistently execute the dives onto Azir and Sivir. And so I do want to see him at some point invest some time into the side lanes. However, Imbi could be getting caught out right now.
So much trouble. Don't manage to get the flash, but it's going to be returned by Hopper. The red buff should be enough to help him take down the Xayah, and we'll be able to get away with the assistance of Yuumi not even really required. That is a free kill taken up by Fuzzy Esports, and that evens out the kills.
Does indeed, and the difference is, look who's behind in the sort of teams. You look at this. Oh, Francesco, actually, hold my thought.
He's in trouble, and with the trouble there, his ultimate wouldn't really be a great tool, and it is down, so not even available. He's going to be forced away. Caracal is there, though. Might look for an engage. We've got a teleport coming in onto the tower as damage will fall onto Hopper. Caracal will use that ultimate and will go golden. Francesco's going to have to back away pretty low. Calaturtle is burning down, and Imbi is on the chase. Manages to get the first kill onto Calaturtle. That's a lot of damage, and now Caracal Wonderboy looking to re-engage. Doesn't have ultimate, though, as Z is being chased down and cut down by Amena behind the tower. Caracal Wonderboy goes low, though, and is forced away. Francesco not going to be any more help in this fight, but Amena grabbing another kill for himself. Raw Reapers, they're being more proactive this game, and it's all thanks to Amena. The dive could be on. Hopper is going to be the one who has to stay alive right here, and he might struggle to do so, but Raw Reapers doesn't look like they actually want to try and fight this Trundle on the tower. They're happy to just back away. Caracal Wonderboy goes down. Purple Cookie's picking up that one. Imbi will be the second victim. Just as things started looking up, they all go downhill. Raw Reapers, you overstayed. You overstayed.
Yeah, I do like Omega going down. I really like that, being able to invest some pressure, some time into your bot lane. The issue is that when Imbi and Francisco got that pressure, they should have recognized, okay, we're lucky to have this. Let's get a little bit of advantage and leave, because as soon as Callie the Turtle or Hopper arrives in that lane, you need to get the hell out. Because you're not going to be able to survive that. We've been shown time and time again. Like, you've been stuck under your tower your whole game. And now that tower does not even exist, can I just say. Meaning that they're having to bring Omena down themselves. Civ is now in the mid lane, who's going to be able to siege incredibly well onto that mid tier 1. And these rotations looking great for Fuzzy Esports.
And it wouldn't be a Square One Champions League game without a bit of a pause in the mid-game, just so we can catch our breath and have a little look at how things are going. So, Amena is the key player right now for Royal Reapers. He's the one who can make everything happen, because everyone else is struggling a little bit. Awaken has got a farm lead, but has died, and Bumblebee's picked up a couple of kills in those fights. Calaturtle obviously looking very, very strong in the bot lane. Imbi's just been bullied and bullied this game. Has been the only one dying in that bot lane, but Francesco obviously being bullied as well. And Trundle, big farm lead over Caracal Wonderboy, and got the same kill participation.
Yeah, exactly. And really, I would say Amena isn't just the key player for him, he's the key player in this whole game. Because he is the one with a massive advantage in his team, but the rest of his team are kind of struggling a lot. So really, it's down to Amena, where is he on the map? Because ideally, if you're on the side of Fuzzy Esports, what you can do is see where Kiana is, and okay, she's there, and then play on the other side of the map. And all of a sudden, you win every fight there. Because they feel like you're just stronger in every area. However, they're playing right next to this Kiana. I'm not sure that's a good idea.
Francesco's going pretty low already, but the ultimate should help him out. Amena looking to get the chase on, and Hopper Fra Taggart is going to be in trouble. It is going to be going low. The Ignite will tick onto him. Yumi might be able to save him. He won't be able to. Karaka Wonderboy picking up the kill. Look at Z on the side though. Azina so much damage, picks up 1 purple cookies with the kill credit. And now the chase has been turned on its head. Fuzzy Esports looking to pick up. But it's just going to be the 1-for-2 trade. Fuzzy Esports managing to get the better of that one. And Dragon will be their prize.
Okay, got a bit overexcited there, but that was a great little flank by Z getting him back into the game. Able to push away the strong members of Royal Reaper. Was able to secure their second Mountain Dragon over their game, but eyes on Omena. He could be looking for something here. He's hovering around this mid lane, but eventually decides, no, I'm going to reset.
Yeah, he doesn't want to jump in and give away so much gold. 250 gold bounty is nothing to sniff at this point, and he's going to have to be careful that he's not giving away more money, because Fuzzy Esports, they've still got around a 2k gold lead. They're looking in the driving seat, even though Mena is definitely the man on the Rift to watch.
Yeah, he certainly is, and I mean now they're looking towards another objective, but keep in mind for Fuzzy Esports, this is the big difference. These objectives are all going over to Fuzzy Esports. They have a tower for the name, 2 Mountain Drakes, and they're using that to start securing this Rift Tower. However, keep your eyes on other members of Royal Reapers. They are positioning around this objective very, very well. We do see Amanda coming down.
Amanda's coming down, looking to chase people away. Crackle Wonderboy looks for the engagement. The final chapter will stop him. He's getting a lot of slows down. Gets the ultimate to break up the fight. Amanda's on the side going for Karma, as Hopper is going to be healing just so much. Francesco forced away. Imbi's already low. Amanda wasn't able to pick anything up. It looks like they're going to be able to quickly pick up the eye with Francesco going down in the fray. And Fuzzy Esports grabbed themselves a kill, grabbed themselves an objective, and that's kind of been the story of this game so far.
It really has been, and now I believe that they could just put this Rift Tower mid right now like they're doing, knock down this mid lane tower, and get a kill for it.
Yeah, Katarika Wonderboy, you don't need to be there, friend. You lose out, you die. And now there's going to be one charge. They might even look for a second. Every member of Fuzzy Esports is mid right now, and they're going to look to keep pushing, keep getting objectives, and build up this lead. Imbi looking to wave clip. He's taking so much damage already. It's going to be slow. Karma needs to be a bit careful tanking up that tower. But they might even be able to get a second tower. They will be able to do so. And now Zarya forced out with the ultimate as Trundle just gets away. He's so survivable in these fights. He doesn't need... He has Yubi on him. He doesn't even really need it.
Yeah, man. And now look at the gold lead and how that's changed. From just a little one has like a 1k gold lead. All of a sudden we're looking at about 3k, 3.5k. 2 Mountain Dragons, 3 towers. Rift Tower used very, very well by Fuzzy Esports, and I'm going to keep saying this word because it's so important. Great decisive play by them to know, okay, we're going to the mid, we're popping this Rift Tower, we're making the play now, nothing they can do to stop us.
Amena is still looking strong now. I'm going to keep ringing this bell because if he can get into a fight properly, he can cut people down. And it almost looked like that was going to happen around Rift Herald until Fuzzy Esports basically like, okay, we're Geg surrounded, we're just going to punch out of one exit and we're just going to go. And they did that very, very well. Karaka Wonderboy overstaying as well, meaning that he died, meant that the defense wasn't as strong as it could be. But Raw Reapers, they're in a bad spot, but they've still got champions that can survive in this situation. They've got a big tanky front line with the Gragas, with the Alistair, who should be able to weather the storm a little bit. They've got a Mena who should be able to play the tune of killing everyone in these fights if he can get in position. So it needs to keep being decisive from Fuzzy Esports to keep getting these leads. They're in the driving seat, as I said, but that means that it's on them to do something.
It certainly is, and the thing is that I'm looking at Omena right now, and he's 4-on-1. He is that big key player, but you said something very, very important there, and it was that when he gets into a fight, that's when he can do very well. Now, the issue is he has to try and get into a fight versus the champion.
Fight as he's looking to get in, and Amena's going to use the ultimate. Not going to land to either member, but Capital is going to be cut down. Hopper, Taggart, again, the big monolith will be able to probably win out this fight with the assistance of Z. Imbi is there looking to get some damage out onto the Azir, but will actually go down instead. Francesco now is the one who's going to have to play Sacrifice. Going to use that ultimate, going to get the double knock-up as Amena manages to get away. But Alistair forced to flash away, might still go down. The tag is on. as Alistair will fall, as Amena now will also have to sneak away. Will he be able to survive? I don't think he will. With the Trundle, with the Yuumi chasing him down, Amena having to try and be sneaky and get away. I don't think he's got enough, looking to maybe jump onto Z, but he's going to be knocked up and taken down. That's a big shutdown coming on the Trundle. And this pick is paying off dividends because Hopper just can't die.
Oh yeah. He's died 3 times.
Well,
yeah.
other than the 3 times
despite
he's died, he
those
can't
3
die.
times, yes, he has a huge amount of survivability in these fights, and it's proving so useful because not only is he able to survive on his own, but it means that there can be more pure tools directed to the Azir and the Sivir, and that's so important because, as I was about to say, our main needs to get into the fights to do a lot of damage. The issue is that trying to get into fights and do damage versus a Karma, a Yuumi, a Trundle with a backline of Azir and Sivir is incredibly difficult to do, and you're seeing it right there. Almeida had them practically out of position in the mid lane, and yet he still couldn't do anything. Never mind when it's a coordinated 5v5. There's no way he gets into that fight. However, obviously, that's pending mispositions. I mean, we have seen Z get caught out a couple of times, and the amount of damage that Almeida can really clock onto someone can be huge. It's just whether or not he can get into those fights and get past the pure tools that have been set up very well for Fuzzy Esports.
And they grab themselves a 3rd Mountain Drake. The Cloud is on the menu next, and that is so brutal for Royal Reapers. They're gonna, all of their stuff is just going to melt away in the face of a Sivir with 3 Mountain Drakes, a Azir with 3 Mountain Drakes, a Trundle with 3 Mountain Drakes. Their objectives don't stand, and they're going to have to be so good on warding and controlling objectives, because Baron will just disappear in the blink of an eye if Fuzzy Esports decide to go for it.
Oh yeah, it certainly will. One thing I want to quickly question, Karaka Wonderboy has gone for the AP Gragas mode. Now, it works, it's become kind of meta that you can go for it, but into the composition that has been drafted by Fuzzy Esports, and considering the fact that you already have the Akali hanging around, I'm not sure if you need that extra damage, or if you prefer that more frontline tank. So I don't know if I'm the biggest fan. We'll see if it works out for him. It very much could.
It's very much a case with this Gragas right now, as he's clearly gone for the idea of let's just kill the enemies, but Imbi might be the one dying as Cow Turtle and Hopper get onto him. He's going to fall. It's going to be Sivir picking up that one, but that's a very nice pick. And now Baron, Royal Reapers need to be controlling this one, or it's just going to be taken away. But Z now might meet Amena in the river, but there's so much support over for Azir. He goes gold in the final chapter, and the slow onto Amena, who might still be able to pick up the kill as Z slips away, killing Amena. And Gragas on the rampage. Francesco now chased down and killed. Caltolo picking up a nice one for herself as well on the Sivir. And now Baron, that's the prize that you get for getting so many kills, and they're running away with this one.
Oh, they certainly are. Fuzzy Esports showing exactly why they should be considered a top tier team in this game. They are showing such decisive play here, being able to move around, get the positions they need to, punish people when they're overextending very easily because they're all willing to go in. And it shows a clear presence in the game, and that's exactly what you want to see. And the funny thing is, they're not even playing that proactive of a composition when you look at it. It should be Royal Reapers who are trying to be on the front foot in this game, but in actual fact, it's the other team, it's Fuzzy Esports, who are able to take control of this game and be the ones who are able to throw it around like a rat.
The tower falls, and now they're looking to get a bait on. Francesco will be caught away from his team and will be going low. Might even go down here, but it looks like Royal Reapers want to turn the fight. They're doing a lot of damage onto Trundle, but he's just still standing. He's so huge as Imbi will be taken low and skewered. But now look, that was huge from Caracal Wonderboy, picking up a kill, splitting up the fight and picking away 3 members. 4 members now. Cowtail's the last one standing. Caracal Wonderboy still needs to be a bit careful, but massive play there from Royal Reapers, picking up 4, defending their objectives. And now Baron, it's only on Sivir. She might still be in trouble though. Awaken, looking for blood, looking for the ace. Francesco's there as well. Caracal Wonderboy's off to the side. Big knock-up, ace for Royal Reapers, and that's a reversal of fortunes.
It certainly is, and Caracal Wonderboy, I apologise for dissing the AP Ragus build, because that won them the fight right there. That explosive cast landing in the middle did so much damage and displaced everyone. Fantastic play on that Gragas, and it means that Royal Reapers hang on in this game very well. They gain a mid-tier 1 for their troubles. They get pushed in all the lanes. They get a very nice reset, and all of a sudden, they can start taking one hand on the driver's wheel and seeing where they can really... where am I going with this? Pilot the game, I guess.
So the car's now playing. That's cool. I like it. It's the game has definitely taken off in terms of speed over the past few minutes, and we saw Hopper survive for so long, and it just looked like, oh well, Trundle's gonna just win this fight, and Ibby's dead, so cool. But then so much damage coming in from the Gragas, Francesco, and the Alistair as well. So much disruption and tankiness in that front line, and it was just a clean-up job from there. It looks so good.
And you know, I like the idea of cars versus planes, because I feel like that very nicely. Oh, never mind. I can't explain my analogy. There's another fight going on.
And Mena will just be cut down pretty quickly. Will he be able to get return onto anyone? I don't think he will. Z's not falling for that one anymore as Awaken looks to turn the fight into a 1v1 across the map. Will be looking to hide its Bumblebee, but she's pretty sneaky, pretty quick, and will be able to get away with that one. But it does lose her flash. It is traded, though.
Anyways, as I was about to say, I've read about the cars versus planes analogy because I feel like that describes both competitions very, very well. You've got the very nice, reliable car.
Nice, reliable Trundle, who's now looking to tank away a lot of damage.
Yeah, there you
Z
go.
on the side. Look at that, Azir. Look at that final chapter as we see Awaken jumping around the back line, but he's going to have to jump away. Francesco being the first one to fall in the backside. It looks like he will fall, though, as Cracker Wonderboy using that AP will be cut down as not a tank, though. And that is 4 members of Royal Reapers falling. That is a flip around from the last fight. And what can Fuzzy Esports get from this one?
Well, they can get themselves probably a bot lane inhibitor. They could secure the inhibitor too, especially considering the 3 mountain drakes that they have available to themselves. But, you know, they're a very nice car. They're driving along, very steady, easy to maintain. And then you've got Royal Reapers, and they're driving a plane right now. Plane much harder to pilot. Keep that in mind. But when it's flying, boy is it flying. The issue is, don't want to crash it, because if one engage goes awry, they will crash and they will burn. And we've seen that a lot of times. They've tried to go in for these plays, and sometimes it just doesn't work out against the old reliable car.
And the old reliable car is driving directly towards that Cloud Drake. That'll be their 4th of the game, and it's turning Elder Drake, when it spawned, into such a condition of winning over on the side of Fuzzy Esports. They've managed to grab that 4th one. It's going to be another Cloud spawning as well, so we're getting quite a samey level of Dragon type. But Royal Reapers, they've lost 2 inhibitors. They now need to think, okay, how do we win this one? Because at times, they look like they could dominate this game. But right now, they're looking the weaker of the 2 sides.
Yeah, they certainly are. And the big thing there is that they need to get into these fights, but a lot of the time, they're either forcing it too hard, and meaning that you're jumping into Akama, Yumi, who are able to deflate you very easily. The Azir ultimate's been huge in a few of these fights, and especially tripping onto Hopper. What are you doing there? You're not going to kill that Trundle. Just leave him, ignore him. It's the best you can do. They need to avoid doing that because they need to find smart engages. Oh, and my pipes are going. I apologize for the foghorn.
Nice.
Blame people having a bath in my house. How dare they?
How dare they? Awaken might pay the price for that one. Caracal Wonderboy's on the side, but so is Cal the Turtle. Awaken's going to have to be stepping away. But look at the damage onto Civic. She's going to dodge the ultimate, though, and that might be enough to save her. Yumi now with the sustain, and that missing that ultimate was so important. Amenem gets a nice stun, though. Jumps in, looking to get the kill, but Cal the Turtle gets the better. Z on the backside as well, getting the kill on to Gragas. That could have been very, very different if Cal the Turtle hadn't dodged that ultimate.
Yeah, he needs to be a little bit careful. Oh, wait, no, I lied.
Awaken goes down. Francesco might follow on such little health. Imbi as well, last man to stand, but they're chasing onto him. He might well fall, using the ultimate to try and get away, but Trundle will just, he doesn't care about towers at this point. That's the ace. That could well be the base, and that could be game for Fuzzy Esports.
That will be game for Fuzzy Esports. Correction, 3 Mountain Drakes versus 2 Nexus Towers. I think I know who wins this, Jordan. It isn't the Nexus Towers. Great play by Fuzzy Esports. They were decisive so many times throughout that game, making the right plays at the right times. They showed a good understanding of the competition, how to play it, and thanks to that, they have won this game in great fashion. 30 minutes in. Well played.
And that will take Royal Reapers to 0-2 this week. Their playoff berth is looking pretty tenuous right now. It's going to be looking difficult for them to make that one, and Fuzzy Esports, they looked so strong. They had the game from a scruff of the neck. They lost a couple of key fights, but I would say that wasn't a big misplay from Fuzzy Esports. It was just the composition from Royal Reapers doing what it was made to do perfectly in those fights.
Yeah, exactly. And you look at that damage graph, and you just see how much that Sivir Azir were doing in those fights. Props up to Yumi too. Yumi doing a lot of damage there as well. But unfortunately, whilst I do feel like I may have had a decent performance, it just wasn't enough because the champion he was playing just didn't work into the composition that was drafted by Fuzzy Esports. I mean, this was a game by Fuzzy Esports. They drafted the style, they played that style, they committed to that style, and it worked out for them.
Absolutely. And now, well, that is it for week 10 of Square 1 Champions League. One more week of regular season to play, and then we're into playoffs. And all these teams need to be scrapping, need to be picking up points wherever they can, because they need to be winning to get into playoffs and to get to that final. And it's so close in this mid-table. That was a massive win there for Fuzzy Esports to cement their place in playoffs. Royal Reapers, though, they've got it all to do come into final week. I've been vipering. I've been joined by Byron. Byron, words of wisdom, please.
Do I have words? Am I wise?
Well,
I don't know.
I
Who
need
knows?
them. I need them to end up every cast. I end with my color cast to give me some words of wisdom.
Sivir Yumi is a strong duo lane. There we go.
That is expert analysis. Thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed that, 6 p.m. BST on the Twitch channels Monday and Tuesday to watch some Square 1. There are other videos on YouTube, which is where you are right now. I can see you, person watching this.
I can too.
Put a top on. That's disgusting.
What? Come on.
And we'll see you for week 11 of the Square 1 Champions League. Thank you very much for watching. And until next time, I don't have anything to say about that. See you later.